The following is a presentation of Major League Baseball Productions.
His first swing back, a three-run home run.
The Yankees have come back to win another.
And another mob at home plate at the new house.
Power pitching, power hitting. The Yankees a very powerful team.
And the Yankees have come all the way back.
The Yankees' third consecutive walk-off victory.
And the year of the walk-offs continues.
The 500 save for Mariano Rivera.
For 72 years, Lou Gehriger's been the Yankees' all-time hits leader. Now, it's Derek Jeter.
The Yankees have won the American League.
The Yankees are going back to the World Series.
The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.
New York Yankees 2009, season of pride, tradition, and glory.
It's a huge honor to put this uniform on every day and come out here and play. And although things are going to change next year, we're going to move across the street. We just want to take this moment to salute you, the greatest fans in the world.
The Yankees bid farewell to their storied ballpark with a victory, but it was a bittersweet goodbye, for they would be missing the postseason for the first time since 1993.
I think that memory of last September was a bad memory.
It was a bad taste, the whole year. Just thinking about it, just trying to get ready and come back strong for this year.
Not making the postseason in a place that always goes to the postseason, I think that's a bit embarrassing, and I think that's what kind of drove Cashman and drove the Steinbrenners during the offseason, saying, well, we need to get better.
Ladies and gentlemen, CC Sabathia.
Pitching wins pennants, so the Yankees' first order of business was to bring the best free agent pitchers to the Bronx. And CC Sabathia, for one, was a no-brainer.
He got him. Well done.
Look at that. Look at CeCe. He's fired up.
I think his pitching speaks for itself. What he's been able to do the last couple of years with Cleveland and Milwaukee, and showing that he's willing to come back on short days rest and all he cares about is winning, it says a lot about the man.
When it came down to it and really thinking about what I wanted and as far as having the chance to win every year, and there really was no other place to go. Coming here and being in the city and, seeing the way people receive me and everything, I definitely think I made the right choice.
I think CeCe's going to have a huge impact on the field and in our clubhouse. He's a very warm man that people want to be around, loves what he does, enjoys playing the game, and just brings a sense of electricity into the clubhouse.
And there was more. A.J. Burnett had long been a Yankee nemesis, so they knew what they were getting when he, too, donned the pinstripes.
Another K for Burnett, and he's pumped.
Unfortunately, we had to face A.J. last year 5 times, and he pretty much dealt every time.
This is a dream come true. I know it's the same for him. We talked about it last night. I want to come to a place with a big stage. I want to be on that stage. I want to pitch in the postseason. That's all I'm here for.
And what I've seen from A.J. is I've seen a man grow up right in front of us, mature as a pitcher, understands how to attack the strike zone. This is a guy that should make a big impact for us as well.
It's important, the chemistry in a clubhouse. Everybody knows that, no big surprise, and these two guys are just great, down-to-earth guys. And that's certainly, personality always plays a factor.
With their pitching issues addressed, the Yankees then surprised everyone when at the last minute they landed all-star first baseman Mark Teixeira. And Tex couldn't have been happier.
Once it really hit me that I was going to be a Yankee, it was just pure joy, and my goals are the same goals as the Yankees, and that's to win a World Series.
Mark Teixeira, towering home run.
He's another guy that brings a lot to our clubhouse because he loves to play the game. He adds a lot to our offense, and we're extremely excited to have him.
I've been very blessed in my career, been very lucky to play with some great players, and now I'm getting to play with the greatest organization in sports history, with some of the greatest players in sports history. So this is a great day for me.
When the Yankees made all those moves, I was happy, and I couldn't wait for the spring training to start.
I remember going into spring training saying I was as optimistic about this team as any team I've played on in a long time.
And Derek had good reason to feel the way he did. Both Rivera and catcher Jorge Posada were now healthy following surgery. And the Yankees had re-signed the championship-tested Andy Pettitte to provide leadership on the mound. They also believed that Chien-Ming Wang had successfully recovered from his foot injury.
Today the slider was better than last time. I cut him last time, and it was a lot better. The changeup, beautiful. I like it.
Any one of those guys can shut you down on any given day. And it's tough when you roll into a city and guys see that you're going to face possibly like CC and Burnett and Wang and Pettitte. I think we have a chance to have a very good starting five.
Too good a stretch with your own teammates?
During spring training, the team's new acquisitions meshed nicely with the old guard. Aiding that process was personable outfielder Nick Swisher, whose fun-loving enthusiasm belied his respect for Yankee tradition.
There's just a natural aura about being on the Yankees that when you come here, you're expected to win. And when you're expected to win, you have to play well. So I think when you come here, you want to play your best because this is the best of everything.
Hey, what are you talking about? Mr. PR over here did all the right things.
As spring training came to a close, Derek Jeter was slotted in as the leadoff hitter, and Brett Gardner had taken over center field from Melky Cabrera. The team was meshing and looking forward to the season. But then came a crushing blow.
Well, things just keep getting worse for Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod spending Wednesday in Vail, Colorado, being examined by a specialist for a cyst on his right hip.
Embattled third baseman Alex Rodriguez, who'd already made some unsettling admissions in February, discovered that he would need hip surgery. At this point, no one knew if Alex would be out weeks, months, or maybe the entire season. These tribulations would eventually lead to a self-evaluation that would result in a new perspective and ultimately redemption and triumph. March was a dark time for Alex, but once he returned to the Yankees in mid-May from injury, he would lead the charge to a championship. Clutch play would be his hallmark, as a locked-in and focused A-Rod contributed one meaningful play after another.
I hope April's going to be a good month for me this year and the team, and I worked very hard this spring. I had a great spring training, and I'm looking forward to having a great start to the season.
With Rodriguez rehabbing from his hip surgery when the 2009 season got underway, the burden shifted to Teixeira to fill the power void in the Yankees lineup. But the prize free agent acquisition struggled with another slow start to the season.
There is no way Teixeira could have thought it would have been like this.
I expect a lot out of myself. I expect to get a hit every time up, and when you don't get one for 8 at-bats in a row, then you get upset.
The sluggish start was just one of the Yankees' early April woes, where their vaunted pitching staff wasn't faring much better.
This was not his day, and right from the beginning he was struggling.
That's frustrating, but it is the first game, so I got a couple more starts left, and then we'll see how it goes.
Well, Chien-Ming Wang on the mound, so the Wanger is back.
I've been happy with what I've seen from him in spring training, and I have a good feeling about his season.
The Orioles are smacking Wang around, and they've blown it open.
So far, the Yankee starters, Sabathia and Wang, no strikeouts, 8 walks.
We spent all winter and all spring talking about how great this rotation is. I know it's only 2 games, but what's this feel like?
Well, I mean, it's not what we expected, but as you said, it's only 2 games. We have 160 left. There's a lot of baseball to be played.
At forces in a run, Tampa Bay takes a 5-0 lead.
So a rough outing, second straight game for Chien-Ming Wang.
The two-time 19-game winner had seemingly lost his stuff, and that will be all for Chien-Ming Wang. His second inning departure taxed an already overworked bullpen, but help did arrive just in the nick of time.
And Nick Swisher has taken over on the mound for the Yankees as they trail by 10.
The last time Swisher had pitched, freshman year of high school.
And Swisher looks like he is featuring a fastball in the chain.
They look at the same speed to me.
But Nick allowed a walk, gave up a hit, and struck out 1 in a scoreless 8th.
Kepler strikes out.
You know, you got to wonder why I didn't bring him in more often because, you know, during the course of the season, I think he was our only pitcher that didn't have an earned run average.
Swisher was the first Yankees position player to pitch in a game since Wade Boggs befuddled the Angels in 1997.
Got him.
Swish had managed to bring a little joy to an otherwise dismal day, but having fun is something Nick has perfected during his 6-year career.
Swish, with his character, has brought a fun, loving, play hard type of attitude.
You're expected to win. You got guys like myself who have started maybe to do it a little more different than what, you know, they've been used to doing it in the past. But I tell you what, this is just a great group of guys.
Swish was doing lots of talking, especially with his bat.
Shoot, the way Swisher's been swinging the bat, I mean, we can't afford to have him out of the lineup right now. I mean, he's giving us a tremendous spark.
No doubt Swisher brought a breath of fresh air to the team, but there was no greater change to the climate in the Bronx than the beautiful new Yankee Stadium that opened its doors in April.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2009 New York Yankees.
I think this stadium's a product of what the Yankees have meant and what the Yankees have done through all these years. This is definitely a product of Mr. Steinbrenner, of all his hard work, and probably something that I know he's dreamed of doing for a long, long time.
He was a big part of it. You know, I'd like to say he was the reason it's there. He came to opening day and had a great time.
That day was magical, that my parents could be there and see it and cherish it, and he obviously was overwhelmed.
The old Yankee Stadium was known as the house that Ruth built and bore witness to countless wonderful moments, memories for generations of fans. The house that the boss built came with huge expectations for new memories, new firsts.
Line drive, there's the first base hit at Yankee Stadium. A single to center field by Johnny Damon. Going back Sizemore, still back, looking up, see ya! The first home run here at Yankee Stadium off the bat of Jorge Posada.
For Georgie to hit the first homer, I mean, he's been here a long time. He's meant a lot to this franchise. I was extremely happy for him.
The Yankees lost their home opener. But in their second game with Cleveland, they christened their new palace in the Bronx with their first home victory.
Strike three, ball game's over, and the Yankees win.
And just a few days after that, thanks to Melky Cabrera, they had their first magical moment in a year that would feature many.
It is gone! Oh, the Milkman delivers! He hits a bottom of the 14th walk-off home run.
Cabrera was making a convincing case to win back his role as the everyday center fielder by ensuring that the Yankees' first homestand in the new stadium would be a winning one. But then the team headed north.
Programs here, $5. Yankee fans, $10.
The Red Sox had staked an early claim as a team to be reckoned with in the East by winning 7 straight before the Yankees came to town. But New York seemed poised to end that streak when they led 4-2 with 2 outs in the 9th and had Mariano Rivera on the mound against Jason Bay.
Deep drive, center field, going back Gardner on the track, looking up, see ya! Jason Bay with a game-tying 2-out, 2-run, bottom of the 9th inning home run.
Rivera's blown save was his 12th against the Red Sox, more than against any other team in the American League, and 2 innings later, with Mo now long gone, the Red Sox finished the job.
There it goes! A walk-off home run by Kevin Youkilis, and a painful loss for the Yankees.
The second game looked to be a classic pitcher's duel between old teammates.
Johnny Damon hits a 2-run home run to tie.
But both Josh Beckett and A.J. Burnett failed to live up to the hype.
It's a grand slam. Jason Varitek drills one deep into the Yankees bullpen, and Boston is back in the game. They trail 6-5.
The Yankees went on to lose the 16-11 shootout and fared no better in the final game, getting swept aside.
They outpitched us. They outplayed us. At this point of the season, they're a better team than we are.
With the team still struggling to find its groove, the news came down that Alex would soon return to the lineup. But how would he perform following such complicated surgery?
So, good to be back.
I got you. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this day for a long time, and it's been a long road from Colorado to Tampa, and now in Baltimore. I'm very happy to be here.
As soon as he got back, I mean, we knew it was going to make a difference, but the impact that he had was incredible.
It began in his very first at-bat.
Swung on it, hit in the air to deep left. It is high, it is far, it is gone on the first pitch he saw in the 2009 season. Alex Rodriguez hits a 3-run home run.
Well, that was exciting. That was a good way to start. You know, hopefully there's a lot more of that.
You can see how happy his teammates are that he is back.
That was unbelievable, and he did what he does best, and that's play the game at a high level.
You could not script something like that.
Now, lately with Alex Rodriguez back in the lineup, Mark Teixeira has started to heat up.
Pitch to Teixeira is driven deep to left field. Going back is Span. He looks up. This one is gone. A 3-run home run for Mark Teixeira.
Mark's a great hitter, and you can't keep a guy that's a great hitter down forever.
Well, this ball may not be close. Way back to right field. Back. Gone. Oh, what a bullet. It's a text message to the left field seats. He went 4 for 4 the other day, and now he has a 2-home run game.
Big hits all day long today. You know, we know they can't do that every day, but we know this is what he's capable of doing on any day.
One thing Mark did every day was play the game hard. And there was no one better at first base, where he had 2 gold gloves and was working on a 3rd.
When you add a guy like Mark over at first base, he kind of makes everybody's jobs a lot easier.
Ground ball, great play by Teixeira.
He's the best first baseman I've ever seen.
No question, A-Rod's return reverberated throughout the lineup as most everyone seemed to pick up their game.
That one's looped into left field. That is going to be a base hit, and the Yankees win the game. 2-run score. It is a walk-off 2-run single for Melky Cabrera. And let's get it down to Kim Jones, and she is with Melky Cabrera, who has just been doused by his teammates.
And then it really all started, to me, the confidence to be able to come back late in games against Minnesota when we seem to have a walk-off win every day in a 4-game series.
The 0-1. That's why. There it goes. See ya. A walk-off 2-run home run for Alex Rodriguez.
These last 2 games have been tremendous. We won. That's the most important thing. I mean, we won.
This is the type of win that really brings a team together. They've now won 4 in a row.
Well, I mean, I tell you, it's just exciting to be back playing baseball. And, you know, it's a good win for us. The last 2 nights have been character builders for us, and hopefully we can build from there.
Payoff. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. Kadire back. See ya. Ball game over. A walk-off home run for Johnny Damon. 3 walk-off wins for the Yankees. Straight.
That series against the Twins was a huge turning point in this season for the Yankees.
And I think that you could start to see the team turn the corner just a little bit, going from a 500 team to a team that really had something special about it, a little bit of magic.
Well, the Yankees have won the first 3 ball games here in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, it is amazing. I've never been a part of something like this 3 in a row.
And there's a jam-packed Yankee Stadium.
With the team now on a 9-game winning streak, they got a sneak peek at their postseason future when they played host to the Philadelphia Phillies.
Both teams' first interleague series of the year. That one's driven deep to left field off the bat of Worth. No chance for Damon. See ya.
So the Phillies take the first game of this 3-game weekend series.
I knew from managing against them in 2006 that they were a very tough club. They were resilient. They had an American League lineup.
In the air to right. Back at the wall. Rodriguez is tied it.
What a tenacious at-bat by Rodriguez.
Winning run is on at first with one out from Melky Cabrera. Into right center field. Here comes Cano. The Yankees have come back to win another.
They're a very good team. I mean, that's why they won the World Series last year.
And that one is gone.
That ball is going to be gone.
See ya. And the Phillies beat the Yankees 4-3 and take 2 out of 3 from the Yanks here in the Bronx.
I knew that they were very dangerous, and they proved it in 2008, and they proved it again in 2009.
June brought the winds of change to Yankee Stadium. But while the team still hadn't found its identity, things were looking up.
You know, we struggled a little bit early on, but I really think that you find out more about players, more about teams, with how they handle themselves through adversity. And, you know, we always had confidence, you know, but for us, it was our pitching staff.
The starters began to settle in, and there was also a change in the pen.
We seemed to get our bullpen ironed out sometime at the end of the first half, when we brought up guys like Aceves and Robertson, and we put Hughes in the bullpen to be our 8th inning guy, and Koki got on his role, and Mo got on a roll. You know, the first month Mo was coming back from shoulder surgery, and it took him a while to get going.
Pitching and defense wins games. I mean, offense is great, that's what everyone loves to talk about, but everybody knows that pitching and defense wins.
Pops it up and caught by Chamberlain. And it's going to be a double play.
We go out there and guys want to make plays where you guys want to dive, and you know, I want to make big pitches, you know, to get these guys off the field back in the dugout to try to score runs, and I think that makes all the difference.
He struck him out swinging. The defense also fed off the pitching, posting a Major League record 18 straight error-free games.
Our pitching has been great the last 18 games, and that allows our defense to stay on our toes, you know, make the plays when we have to, and that's what we've been doing the last couple weeks.
I mean, obviously, there is going to be another error at some point, but I think the consistency of your defense can play the whole season.
When June began, the Yankees held a slim first-place lead, but their optimism was tempered by the fact that a familiar foe had already beaten them 5 straight times in 2009.
Josh Beckett on the hill tonight in Game 1 against the Yankees.
You know, we had a really hard time beating the Red Sox, and it was a frustrating series for us.
First strikeout for Josh Beckett.
Fastball, strike 3.
Third strikeout for Beckett. Cano strikes out. The Red Sox win in shutout fashion.
The Red Sox are now 6-0 against the Yankees this year.
2-0 pitch. Hit in the air to right center field. That one is heading towards the bullpen. That one is gone! A 2-run shot for Kevin Youkilis.
The Red Sox have a 1-game lead in the American League East. They are 7-0 against the Yankees this season. The right arm around in the pitch, swinging a line drive to Youkilis. He clutches it, and it's over. The Red Sox sweep the Yankees. And the Red Sox have a 2-game lead in the American League East.
And the Yankees left to wonder.
They had lost the first 8 games to the Red Sox. And everybody was saying, well, that was the monkey on their back. They couldn't beat the Red Sox. And you just have to wonder how it's going to happen.
Our problem really wasn't our pitching or our defense, it was our hitting. We didn't swing the bats. I mean, we swung the bats pretty poorly the last, couple nights. That bothers me. And we got to start off the road trip right, because we have 9 games in National League cities, and we got to find a way to have a good road trip.
But the Yankees struggled badly at the start and flew to Atlanta in need of a serious jolt.
We just weren't playing good baseball. We just lost 2 out of 3 to the Marlins, lost the first game to Atlanta. Then Brian Cashman came in and just lit into our offense.
Cashman's rare call to arms produced an unexpected spark in Game 2.
Got him at first, picked him off.
When I saw Gardy slide back, I could see that his hand was at the bag before the tag was applied, and Bill didn't see it that way, and I just felt that, I got to get out there.
Here comes Joe Girardi to take up the argument.
You never see Joe get fired up or get excited, so to see him get fired up definitely pumped the team up.
Girardi out of frustration more than anything, still arguing Bill Welke.
So I went out and argued, and I got tossed.
And he's gone.
Girardi gets kicked out of the game, which seemed like every time he got kicked out of the game, we did something good.
High towering fly ball left center field. Cervelli ties this game.
Cervelli hit a home run that game to bring us back. A-Rod came up with a big hit, up the middle.
Rodriguez drives in a pair.
We kind of never looked back after that.
So the Yankees level the series at a game apiece.
The team had seemingly gotten the message and went on a 7-game tear.
And the Yankees have their second straight rout of the Mets.
Highlighted by a milestone for their phenomenal closer.
And the great Rivera has been summoned.
When you get to the 9th, you can just pick up the phone and say, bring in Mo, and you know that you're going to win the game.
The first pitch hit on the ground, wide of first, grabbed by Cano, the second baseman, throws to first in time. The ball game is over. Mariano Rivera has his 500th career save.
Knowing that you accomplished 500 saves, especially in the American League and the East Division, it wasn't something easy. But you need the whole team to do that.
The second in history to reach that plateau.
Yeah, Mo, 500 saves. What can you say?
And Derek Jeter, who has been his teammate for all those many years.
No other team has the luxury that we have with Mo, where it's pretty much automatic, consistently year in and year out, and also in the postseason.
Ball game over. American League Championship Series over.
Mariano's been so good so long that, it's just amazing, what he's capable of doing.
His pitch is just devastating. That cutter, everyone in the game knows is coming, yet hitters cannot hit him.
To continue to reinvent yourself with one pitch is amazing.
How he continues to do it is unbelievable.
Everyone would say that he's going to have to come up with another pitch. Eventually the league's going to catch on to him, but he hasn't had to, and he's not going to have to.
The Yankees have done it again. Number 24.
Mo has had his signature cutter since I really met him in 1996 and has never changed and has been as good in 2009 than he was in any other year.
He's one of my favorite teammates that I've ever had, and in my opinion, he's the greatest closer to ever play this game. And I don't think there'll ever be another guy like him.
As the season neared the halfway point, there was good reason to celebrate, for the Yankees somehow always seemed to find a way to win.
Rodriguez rounds third. He'll score. It's a walk-off RBI single for Jorge Posada. And the Yankees have done it again.
8th walk-off this season. What does that say about this team?
It says that the bullpen is doing a hell of a job to keep us in the game. We don't die, and especially at home, when we have the last at-bat.
They wouldn't have that luxury on a 6-game road trip that began in Minnesota, but they still continued their mastery over the Twins.
Teixeira with a deep blast to left. Home run number 21 on the year for Mark Teixeira. And the Twins are swept in 7 games by the Yankees.
Let's talk about this sweep. Not only this series, but the season sweep of the Twins. You've got to feel great about that.
Yeah, well, this is a good team we're playing, and for us to win every game against them this year is a big boost for our club.
There was one more big test awaiting them before the All-Star break. And the only AL team with a winning record over the Yanks this decade, the Angels, continued to bedevil them.
Hard hit ground ball right to second. There's one. On to first. Double play.
And the pitch. He struck him out swinging. Ball game over. Angels win.
The Angels just seem to play with such extraordinary confidence against the Yankees. And there's another line drive. That'll tie the ball game. Biggins scores.
And the Angels make it 2 in a row over the Yankees.
Swisher, pinch hitting.
Oliver has it. He goes to first base, and they get the double play.
It never really fell our way. We never really caught a break.
And the Angels sweep the Yankees in the 3-game series.
This 3-game set's over. It's done. Everyone's getting ready to enjoy them 4 days off because I think we all need it a little bit.
The 80th All-Star Game in St. Louis provided a welcome break from the grind. Mariano was there for the 10th time, so was Derek Jeter. It was the second All-Star appearance for Mark Teixeira, with a promise of many more to come.
How much fun is this stuff, man? This is what, 10th, 11th, 15th?
Hey, Derek Jeter, what's going on, man? How you doing? I know this guy's like the old guy around here now.
I'm not the oldest.
Thanks in part to Jeter and Tex, the American League got off on the right foot.
That's to the right side. Pujols kicks it. Jeter will come to the plate, and it's 1-0 American League.
The American League would run its unbeaten streak to 13 consecutive years when Mariano sealed the deal for a record 4th time.
Shallow right, and the catch is made by Zobrist, and the American League has won again.
Home field advantage in the World Series once again belonged to the AL team, and the Yankees hoped that meant them.
Well, I had told our club when we came back here after the All-Star break that, hey, we went through difficult times in the first half. We always bounce back. We're going to go through some more difficult times and just keep being resilient.
The Yankees began the second half with a message of hope as they reached out to honor those who have inspired and had a positive impact on their communities. Hope Week provided a reminder that perseverance is something that goes beyond the baseball diamond.
It's about, people working together to make things happen. And, it's just an honor to be able to be here. And it's an honor to be with this organization to know that they want to do so many things beyond baseball.
Hope Week, Hope Week, Hope Week, Hope Week.
Back on the field, the Yankees played inspired baseball, winning 8 straight games, one that was capped with a thriller by Godzilla.
There it goes, deep to right, see ya! A walk-off, solo home run by Hideki Matsui.
It had been a while since I hit a walk-off homer to begin with, so it was gratifying. The moment I hit the ball, I knew it was a home run.
You almost got the sense that the rallying cry was "Who wants pie today?"
And that's the price you pay for a walk-off hit here with the Yankees this year.
And that's what happened. It seemed like it was somebody different every single time, and A.J. Burnett was the ringleader with that.
A guy like A.J. Burnett, the attitude he brings to the clubhouse every day and on the mound has been a tremendous thing. And you got to give him the credit for the pie.
With the pies in the face, I have no problem with it because it only happens after we win.
They knew A.J. was coming, but they just didn't know from what direction. And guys really look forward to it.
By giving these guys their just desserts, A.J. kept the team loose, but it was on the mound in July where he really took the cake.
When A.J.'s on, he's unbelievable. He's got probably the best stuff in the league. He throws, fastballs both sides of the plate. When his two-seamer is coming back against lefties, it's unhittable.
Swung on and missed, he got him. Big strikeout for Burnett.
A.J. was superb throughout July, finishing with a 4-0 record and a 2.43 ERA.
There's a breaking ball. That's a heck of a pitch for the guy who throws 97, and then to give you that.
He performed, great during that time, and he really pitched well all year. Coming in, to a new place, with new catchers and new circumstances. I think, he handled it well.
So 7 innings for Burnett.
You starters feeding off each other?
100%. Personal goals don't really mean anything. We're going out there as starters and setting the tone, and the bullpen's doing their job. And like we always say, when you got offense like this, just keep them in the game.
The numbers looked good as the Yankees were playing .600 ball when July came to an end. The Yankees had a strong July, but still held just a game-and-a-half lead over Boston as the calendar turned. The good news was their pitching staff, led by Sabathia, was performing at the level the team envisioned back in spring training, and that allowed the bullpen to thrive.
Our bullpen has been very good. We had some troubles early, and it took a while for a few guys to get going, but our bullpen has probably been the biggest difference in our club.
It was asked upon me to go to the bullpen and kind of be the long relief guy for a little while, and I pitched well, and I found myself pitching in closer games and on later in the game, and until finally I was kind of the 8th inning guy.
Led by Phil's 1.40 ERA out of the pen, the Yankees would finish the year at 71-2 when leading after 6. No question, the bridge to Mo had been fortified.
After the first half, everything fell in place. Pitching.
He struck him out swinging.
Hitting. Everything. When you have that kind of chemistry, a lot of good things happen.
Like something no Yankee had accomplished since September 3rd, 1995. Swung on and line toward right center. On the run is Dye. It's over his head, and it's going to go all the way to the screen. Melky will try for 3. He rounds second, heading for third. The relay throw is not in time. It's a triple, and he's hit for the cycle. And it's the first Yankee to hit for the cycle since Tony Fernandez. How do you like that? The Yankees were in a much more vicious cycle with their arch rivals. They had, after all, lost 8 straight to the Red Sox, but now back home, they hope to start a new trend.
You hear all this stuff about, you guys haven't beat the Red Sox, this and that. So what? We're a different team now. And, we're looking forward to getting it on.
Jabba Chamberlain has taken the mound, and this should be fun.
Here they go into this 4-game series against the Red Sox, and all the questions come up again.
And the pitch. Strike 3, he got him.
Can they beat the Red Sox?
He struck him out.
At all, let alone when it counts.
High fly ball, deep center, Ellsbury back. See ya! A 3-run home run for Jorge Posada. And the Yankees putting some distance between themselves and the Sox. And more importantly for the Yankees, they finally beat the Red Sox, so they get that monkey off their back.
I wouldn't say that, we've gotten over the hump. We're still 1-8. We got the 0 off our back, but I don't sense that this is a group that would get giddy because we won 1 game.
It is a gorgeous day in a great setting here for baseball. It's going to be an unbelievable night.
Truer words were never spoken as A.J. Burnett and Josh Beckett took the mound in Game 2, promising a classic pitcher's duel. This game would test the will and stamina of both teams.
And the 1-2. He struck him out. Got him. And that's big-time pitching by A.J. Burnett. Strike 3, Damon down looking. And all of that adds up to 0-0 here in the 8th inning.
I remember looking at the fans and how everyone was on the edge of their seat.
And as I said earlier, nail-biting time. Big game, pennant race, Yankees, Red Sox. You really can't draw it up much better than this. I just remember that the game was going on forever. You just figured that they were going to win it, but you didn't know how they were going to do it, and you didn't know who the hero was going to be or who the guy with the pie was going to be.
When they reached the 15th inning, it became the longest scoreless game the two rivals had ever played. And you couldn't help but feel the time was right for Alex to own the night.
That one's drilled deep to left field. There it goes. That ball is gone. See ya. A walk-off 2-run home run for Alex Rodriguez as the Yankees beat the Red Sox 2-0 in a classic here at Yankee Stadium.
Alex Rodriguez, how do you explain this moment?
Well, I have no explanation. I think we were all tired. It was definitely exhausting. It's a heavyweight fight, and we were fortunate to have the last hit.
So that was a real defining moment, I thought, for the team. And I just think the Yankees became the best team in baseball.
The next day belonged to Sabathia, who put his stamp on Boston by dominating the Red Sox with 7 2/3 scoreless innings.
1 out, nobody on. Kochman strikes out for the 3rd time.
He has really made some pitches this afternoon.
Today, was one of those close games that gives you confidence against a team when you can win close games like that.
And the pitch swung on and drilled to deep right. It is gone into the Yankees bullpen. It's a Johnny Rocket. Teixeira and Damon go back to back in a belly to belly.
It's a good feeling. We were on the other side of this for a while.
Ball game over. Yankees sweep Boston.
To come out and win these 4 games like we did, it's a good feeling.
Boston had redemption on its mind 10 days later, but they couldn't beat the unflappable Pettit.
The 1-2 to the left-hand hitting speed merchant. Cut on and missed. He struck him out. Swung on and missed. He tied him up down and then struck him out.
The win for Pettit He picks up his 10th of the year, and a tough loss for the Red Sox, their 5th straight now against New York. Certainly the complexion of the American League East has changed.
New York left Boston with another series win and a wider gap in the standings. The good times continued back home.
There it goes! See ya! Another walk-off win!
One of the pleasures as a manager is having players that can play every day and be extremely productive. And we have that in Robinson Cano, who you know that you can put in there every day and be productive.
Ground ball, Cano to his right, up with it, throws on the first, scooped out by Teixeira.
And when I look at Robbie, I think he's a Gold Glove winner. He should be.
It's a ground ball toward the hole. Diving stop, Cano to his feet, backhands in time to Teixeira. What a play!
Robinson Cano makes it look a lot easier than it is.
And he's had a huge year at the plate for us. 200 hits, 100 runs.
They turned him loose. He hits one deep to center. And the Yankees win. They've done it again.
It seems like he's been more selective as of late, at least this year, and it's really paying off for him.
It's a 2-run home run by Robbie Cano. And don't you know?
But for every youthful endeavor, there was an equally welcome effort by a seasoned vet like Pettit, who brought his knowledge and experience to the mix.
I call him the Godfather, so he's the leader of our pitching staff.
And now the 37-year-old veteran left-hander Andy Pettit goes to work for the Yankees here.
Pettit won 4 games in August and was perfect for 6 2/3 in Baltimore.
That is the 6th strikeout for Andy Pettit tonight.
Andy's been huge. I mean, that performance right there was unbelievable. He was locked in, throwing everything for strikes, commanding both sides of the plate.
Strike 3 called in the outside corner.
I've seen Andy in action for many years, and after the break, he has been solid.
A perfect game through 6. 18 up and 18 down.
He's just been a guy that's done it a lot in his career in the second half.
And he's a guy we have the utmost confidence in. I don't care where we're playing, who we're playing. We think that he can get the job done.
The Yankees win it 5-1. Andy Pettit tonight took a perfect game into the 7th inning.
The entire team was playing almost flawless baseball and looked to carry that momentum into the stretch. When September dawned, the Yankees were firmly atop the AL East, due in large part to a powerful lineup that would set a franchise record for most home runs with 244.
I think when you look at our lineup, with all the switch hitters that we got, I think we have a lot of balance. Having a healthy Posada back has really made our lineup complete.
Belted right field, and this will do it. You can kiss that one goodbye. They have now tied the record. 7 players with at least 20 home runs.
Right now I'm having fun again. My body's feeling good, so it's just a little icing on the cake. Just keep on hitting.
Georgie worked extremely hard to get back to that level where he is at this year, and he's had a great year for us. He's been a big part of the Yankees since really 1997, and the success that we've had here, he's been a big part this year.
You've hit in some storied lineups who've done some really nice things. How does this one compare?
Well, this one's special. We got a lot of switch hitters in there, and it really switches the lineup around. So it's really tough to face us right now.
That one's driven deep to right field. Going back, Kepler looking up. See ya! A walk-off home run for Nick Swisher, and the Yankees win 3-2.
It's that camaraderie, it's that confidence factor, and I think every time we go into a late inning game, where the score's tied or we might be down at a certain point, we feel that we're going to be successful no matter what the obstacle is. And I think that's something that we've taken on all season, and something hopefully we can just keep going.
Hits of all kinds, lots of them, were the captain's specialty, and when the team began a homestand on September 7th, all eyes were on him. Derek was closing in on the pride of the Yankees himself, Lou Gehrig, for the most hits in team history.
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't thinking about it. Pretty much everywhere I've gone this entire homestand, I've been hearing it on the streets, in cabs, at the stadium. When are you going to get a hit? When are you going to get a hit? Kept telling him I'm trying.
He's 3 hits to tie and 4 to break the record. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are hoping they're the right game. We're all fortunate enough that we will be at the game.
Jeter was uncomfortable with all the attention over an individual accomplishment, but he relaxed following a chat with his father.
Well, I talked with Derek about living in the moment sometimes, trying to enjoy, some of the things, because, part of the thing is the journey. You can take the time and say, hey, pat yourself on the back a little bit.
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the support of my family.
Derek got 2 hits early in the final game of the series and needed just 1 more to tie the record when he came up in the 7th.
And the crowd here at the stadium, most of them standing. 72 years this record has been held. Lou Gehrig has been the Yankees' all-time hit leader. Ground ball, base hit. Lou Gehrig has company. Derek Jeter has tied the Iron Horse with his 2,721st hit.
To get that ovation, I really appreciate it, and that's a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
1 day later, Derek came to the plate with a chance to put his name at the very top of all the Yankee greats.
Everyone standing for Derek. Base hit! Jeter rounds first. He's done it.
For 72 years, Lou Gehrig has been the Yankees' all-time hits leader. Now, it's Derek Jeter.
The thing that stands out to me the most about that was the fact that we had, I think, an hour-and-a-half rain delay. So I really didn't know how many people were going to still be in the stands, and it says a lot about how the fans feel about the history of the organization. Lou Gehrig, being a former captain and what he stood for, you mention his name to any baseball fan around the country, it means a lot. So I think passing him makes it stand out that much more.
You knew very early that he was a great player, and that not only was he a great player, he took it to another level whenever it became big situations or great moments that could be made.
Derek had a fantastic season, teaming up with Robinson Cano as the first pair of middle infielders to both have 200 hits, and his defense was never better.
Derek Jeter is probably what, as a baseball player, we wish we all could be like, because he's a guy that is always having fun. When I think of clutch players, I think it's players that are able to slow the game down when it's a tough situation, and they're able to relax. And that's exactly what Derek Jeter is able to do.
Derek was clutch late in games, but so were many Yankees in 2009, both the veterans and the young'uns.
And the 1-2. There it is, and they've done it again. Another walk-off win, and the rookie Francisco Cervelli gets it done. The Yankees win 5-4.
14th walk-off, Joe. Does that ever get old?
No, it does not.
If we had to win late, everybody wanted to be that guy.
The first goal is to get into the playoffs. Your next goal in the regular season is to win your division. We've only reached one of our goals, and this series could determine a lot.
A sweep of Boston would give the Yankees the division title, and in the opener they honed in on a Red Sox weakness and ran with it.
Our guys were aggressive. They picked their spots. We got some stolen bases.
Stolen base for Derek Jeter. A-Rod goes. Not even close to getting big. Throw to second is not in time. Another stolen base for A-Rod. That's his 3rd of the game. The Yankees are off to the races against Washington tonight. Rounded up the middle. Flip to Jeter. There's one on the first double play. And the Yankees win the game 9-5. The Yankees could actually clinch here at the stadium if they win the next 2 games against the Red Sox.
Game 2 was all CC.
Strike 3, fastball outside corner.
The Boston bats were no match.
Struck him out swinging, breaking ball. Now Sabathia deals, grounded right back to Sabathia, but it went off his glove. He recovers, throws to first in time, and Sabathia just pounded his glove.
CC Sabathia with a 1-hit shutout.
It was CC's 19th win, tops in the American League, and he was all but perfect when the Yankees needed him the most, going 9-0 in August and September.
Even when he wasn't getting the victories, he was going out there and giving us innings and being the workhorse.
The 2-2. 10 strikeouts for CeCe.
You know, I got a lot of run support this year, so I just felt like if I would have kept the team in the game, 9 times out of 10 we were going to score runs, we were going to win the game.
There was no stopping the Yankees in the final game of the series. In a stunning turnaround, they had beaten their arch rivals 8 of the last 9 games and needed just one more to win the division title. And with a lead in the 9th, the final outcome seemed certain.
The Yankees have won the American League East, and the great Rivera was center stage to wrap it up.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
It was clear by the end of September that this was one of the best teams in baseball. Heading into the season finale, A-Rod had 28 home runs and 93 RBIs. There was no way he could tie Jimmy Fox with 12 straight seasons of 30 homers and 100 RBIs. Was there?
Alex was probably only going to get 2 or 3 at-bats. That was going to be it.
High drive on the track at the wall. See ya! A 3-run home run for Alex Rodriguez.
29 home runs and 96 runs batted in.
Thinking, well, he's probably not going to get another at-bat. His season's going to be over, and we got a rally going again.
Eric Hensky and Alex were talking, saying, wouldn't it be amazing if I came up with bases loaded and hit a grand slam?
So the bases are loaded for the Yankees with 2 out, and Alex Rodriguez, a homer, would give him the century mark again.
This was going to be Alex's last at-bat during the course of the season.
Alex, you know, is gunning for a grand slam right here. Did he get it? Deep to right. There it goes. See ya! A grand slam. Alex Rodriguez, and he has 100 runs batted in. 7 RBIs in the 6th inning for Alex Rodriguez.
It was really special for him because he had concentrated on the team all year long, and it was the one accomplishment that we can talk about that, you know, he kept his record intact of 30 and 100.
What I think he was able to do was enjoy himself this year. You know, he had a great regular season. It seemed to get better and better as the year went on. He seemed relaxed going into the playoffs.
As was the entire team, finishing atop the AL East with more wins than anyone in the majors. Following a one-year absence from the playoffs, the Yankees were back on familiar ground. And against Minnesota, the pressure was on Alex, who was 0 for his last 29 in the postseason with runners on base.
Line drive, left center field. The streak is over.
Everyone talks about this slump or that slump. The truth of the matter is, you're looking for one moment or 2 moments to help the team win.
And down by 2 in the bottom of the 9th is one such moment.
An unbelievably dramatic 2-run home run, and the game is tied at 3.
Al was unbelievable. There were so many questions coming into this postseason about him, and what I think he was able to do was enjoy it.
A-Rod's seminal shot was just part of a dramatic night in the Bronx.
Swung on and line to left field. Down the line it is gone! Gone! It's a walk-off by Mark Teixeira.
I don't think there's anything better in sports. I got chills down.
It was big for us, and that will carry the momentum right into the next game in Minnesota, and we were fortunate enough to go there and just play the one game and get the sweep and come back home for the ALCS.
But waiting for them was their playoff nemesis, the Angels. The only 2 times they faced off in postseason play, Anaheim prevailed. But the Yankees came well armed.
Struck him out swinging.
And CeCe did not disappoint.
Worth every penny so far.
The Yankees took the opener, and in Game 2, Alex was at it again.
It is high, it is far, it is gone! He's done it again! It is the 3rd time in the playoffs that A-Rod has hit a game-tying home run.
This postseason renaissance by Rodriguez helped put the Yankees up 2-0, though the Angels took 1 back in Anaheim. But the Yankees' dynamic duo would do their thing once again in Game 4.
An A-bomb from A. rips a bullet.
New York won, but fell short 2 nights later. So it was back to the Bronx for the pennant clincher.
If Pettit wins tonight, he will have the most wins of any pitcher in history in the playoffs.
And Andy, no surprise, was brilliant. Rivera came on and capped off a postseason stretch in which he allowed just 1 run in 8 appearances.
Ball game over. American League Championship Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win!
They were back in the World Series thanks in great part to their new postseason hitting star, their ALCS MVP, and their lights-out closer. Just 4 more wins and they'd reach their goal.
Yankees will be aiming for their 27th World Championship.
The Fall Classic would once again take place in New York. Just 6 years had passed since the Yankees last played in the series. But for a team so steeped in tradition, that felt like an eternity.
I miss the fans, I miss the atmosphere and all the butterflies and all the things that you feel, going into that first game.
Are you ready?
I was born ready.
You have one goal, and that goal is to get to the World Series and try to win a championship. And it's very, very difficult to get there, let alone win. Bottom line is we knew we had more work to do.
Let's go, let's go! I don't think you could have a better matchup here in Game 1. Why? CC Sabathia and Cliff Lee.
Struck him out swinging. A very strong first inning for Cliff Lee.
Swinging at this, he struck him out.
Lee was masterful with a complete game triumph.
So the Philadelphia Phillies draw first blood in the World Series best-of-7.
The defending champs seemed unfazed by the bright lights of the big city, but Yankee fans remained in an Empire state of mind.
Well, our prediction is the home team take it in 7. We gave them a little head start on Game 1 because we want to make it exciting.
Still, the Yankees hoped for a split at home, and they would be facing a haunting ghost from their past.
Pedro Martinez gets the ball tonight for the Phillies.
Well, Pedro no longer wears that Boston B on his cap, but here at Yankee Stadium, still has a bullseye on his chest.
Pedro held the Yankees scoreless through 3, but in the 4th, Mark Teixeira looked for something he could drive.
I was trying to be aggressive off Pedro. I know his off-speed pitches were working so well. The next pitch was up in the zone and over the plate, and I put a good swing on it.
Swung on, there it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Ties the game at 1. Swung on and hit in the air to deep right. It is gone. Hideki Matsui.
Matsui's hit so many big home runs for us this year, and that was a big lift for us that put us up for the first time in the series.
Game over. Series tied at a game apiece.
When the scene shifted to Philadelphia, the Yankee offense picked it up with a key turning point caught on camera.
Here's one down the right field line, and it's high off the wall, a fair ball. Teixeira is at third and held there on a double off the wall to right, and the first World Series hit for Alex Rodriguez.
Joe Girardi is running out to talk to the right field umpire.
Did it hit the camera? Yes, it hit a camera. It is a home run.
So it's 3-2 now, Philadelphia.
They were waving at me that it was a home run. Then we kind of, snowballed from there.
Frozen ropes became the order of the day, followed by a looping liner from a most unlikely source.
It's in the air to left.
Swisher coming home.
Andy Pettit has just delivered a hit to tie it.
I've been bragging about his hitting all year.
Bottom line, New York would take Game 3. The following night, Damon got a hit with 2 out in the 9th and the score tied at 4. And he proceeded to run Philly right out of the game.
Liz deals, Damon goes, pitch taken, the throw to second is way late. And Damon now runs toward third, and there's no one there because of the overshift.
And one batter later, A-Rod's premonition came true.
I had a really good feeling that it was going to come down to me. And I was just prepared for the situation.
Swung on and line deep to left. It is a base hit. 1 run scores. Teixeira goes to third and holds up. It is a ribby 2-out double by Alex Rodriguez. And the Yankees take a 5
They also took a 3-1 series lead with the win. And while the Phillies showed their resilience by capturing Game 5, the Yankees had achieved their goal.
To go there and win 2 out of 3, I don't know if a lot of people expected us to do that and then get the opportunity to win it at home in Yankee Stadium. I think it's only fitting.
Andy Pettitte for the Yankees is pitching on 3 days rest.
I've played with Andy since I've been 18 years old in the minor leagues, and he's a guy that I want to see on the mound in those situations.
Once again, Pettitte did the job with 5 1/3 strong innings. But it was the man from Japan who had a monster night.
Swung on and hit in the air to right. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. A 2-run home run. Swung on and line to left center. It is a base hit. Jeter scores. Here comes Damon. 2-run base hit for Hideki Matsui. It is off the right center field wall. Teixeira scores. A-Rod scores.
And Matsui-san has 6 RBIs in the first 5 innings.
He was a big performer for us all year, and in the biggest game for us all year, he came up huge.
See Bo trotting out of the bullpen, that's, you feel like you have a great chance of winning the game.
And for someone who holds postseason records for most saves and lowest ERA, ensuring the Yankees' 27th title was almost routine.
To the second baseman, Cano. The Yankees are back on top.
It's their 27th World Championship, the most of any team in any sport in the history of professional sports.
The pressure that was on Alex Rodriguez now comes off of his shoulders.
This is what I've dreamed of ever since I was 5 years old, and to do it with this bunch of guys, from day one, this is what we all dream about.
Every one of these guys can contribute to a victory, and it's just great to see a team.
Our team went on the field. We played the game the right way. We deserve to be standing here right now, and it's good to be back. This is right where it belongs.
Amid the euphoria of their 27th title, the Yankees were ever mindful of the leading man behind the team and the visionary of the beautiful new ballpark they now called home.
Dad, I know you're at home watching with Mom. This one is for you. Well, that's the goal. All along is for us to win a championship and to dedicate this trophy to the boss. We all know he deserves it.
With an incredibly clutch Game 6, Hideki Matsui became the first full-time DH to be named World Series MVP.
Everything was just unbelievable to me. I was just surprised with what happened.
The Yankees' core 4 got their 5th ring. Alex finally got to shed his postseason label, and Joe Girardi delivered the number on his back.
It's an unbelievable feeling, and I'm so proud of all the guys in that room and the job that Brian Cashman and his staff and all their scouts. It's an unbelievable feeling.
You always dream of what it would feel like and what you would say and what you would do. You just go with it.
Alex, world champions. How does that sound?
It sounds incredible. I couldn't be happier, and I'm just so proud and happy to be part of this organization. I love all these guys, and I'm just happy for the city of New York.
And the city returned that love tenfold as millions of fans filled the streets to celebrate the Yankees' 27th World Championship. The Canyon of Heroes was a sea of joy as the players slowly wound their way down Broadway, thanking their fans for their unbridled support. Windows filled with happy faces, modern-day ticker tape raining down, and the incredible number of fans was a familiar sight to the old guard Yankees. But for those new to pinstripes, it was a sight to behold.
Oh man, this is crazy. The best fans in the world come out here to support us. 3-4 million people today, and people are going crazy. You got people about to fall out of the 20th floor, leaning out of their windows, and it's awesome.
You can listen to all these people, and it's great to be here and be a part of this. It makes you really feel like a Yankee.
It's unbelievable. This is what you play for. This is the feeling that you want to have every year, and it just feels good to be able to do it.
Once the procession rolled to a stop at City Hall, the players were given one final chance to acknowledge their ardent admirers, whose loyalty and faith in the team never wavered.
It's been too long, hasn't it? We want to thank everyone that came out here today. What a parade. It's unbelievable. We really forgot how great it feels.
The thing I love about this club is I think they took on the pulse of the city of New York. This was a club that never gave up, even when things were down. This was a club that always had a heart, always showed confidence in their abilities, and never stopped fighting. And I think that's because of the fans in New York.
1 year had passed since the Yankees joined those fans in bidding farewell to a palace that had housed 26 World Championships. And now they were celebrating the first one in their new home. But if you listen carefully to the words of the players, it's just the first of many.
When you come over here, you're part of the best. And in my mind, I've soaked that up. I've enjoyed that. I've bought into the Yankee family and the Yankee attitude.
The chemistry that we have in that clubhouse definitely is the reason why we're so good.
It's like a bunch of kids out there, man. I mean, we're playing a game that is fabulous.
Well, you know, all season long we've been picking each other up.
And the Yankees come all the way back.
That's the good thing about our guys, you know, they never give up. They've been doing it all season.
Can you believe this? Baseball theater.
We have that will to fight. We have that never die attitude. And I think the one great thing for us is that once we step on that field, we feel we're going to be successful that day.
And the Yankees have done it again.
The swagger's back, and the feeling of being able to win every single game is back here.
When you see a bunch of guys running and hugging and, you know, having a good time, you just smile. I mean, I smile a lot. This year I have a lot of good times.
This was a close group that enjoyed playing the game, and they enjoyed being around each other. You couldn't have asked for anything more from this group.
It was a group that always had each other's back, and for that, I'm extremely proud of them.
Pride, tradition, and glory. With their 27th World Championship, the 2009 Yankees had it all.
That one's drilled to right field deep. There it goes. Ball game over. See ya.
There it goes. Deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Alex Rodriguez has done it. A bottom of the 11th, no-out, walk-off, two-run home run. An A-bomb from A-Rod.
That one's driven deep to right field. Going back, Kepler looking up. See ya! A walk-off home run for Nick Swisher.
Swung on line. There's a base hit. Left center field. Teixeira scores. Here comes Baroa. He scores. Ball game over. Yankees win.
There it goes! See ya! They've done it for the 11th time this year. Another walk-off win. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. Kadire back. See ya! Ball game over. A walk-off home run for Johnny Damon. 3 walk-off wins for the Yankees. Straight. And the Yankees win 4-3. They've done it again. Walk-off win in the Bronx. There it goes, deep to right, see ya! A walk-off, solo home run by Hideki Matsui, and the Yankees win 2-1. They've done it again. Line drive, that's gonna be a base hit, and that'll do it. Alex Rodriguez rounds third, he'll score. It's a walk-off RBI single for Jorge Posada, and the Yankees have done it again.
Nathan Deal swung on and lined to left center field. It is a base hit. 2 runs will score. Ball game over. Yankees win. That's the Milky Way.
The 0-1. Ground ball. Knocked down by Farnsworth. Goes into foul territory. And the Yankees win. The Yankees win on Miranda's infield single. Scoring is Hinsky. And the year of the walk-off continues. They've done it again.
The pitch swung on and lined to right center field. It is a base hit. Here comes Cano. Cano will score. Ball game over. Yankees win. The